everyone, this is Ida with Created to Create. I have a project share. I have something that I wanted to share with y'all, and as you guys know, I've been working with one particular die. Let me move this stuff out of the way. I have been working with one particular die, and the reason that I've been doing that because I really want to get the most out of my dies. And I was working on a project, and I wanted to make packaging, and I wanted to figure out the best way. Let me lower this, guys, because I can't see. I can't see y'all, or I can't see if I'm in frame, so y'all can see what I'm doing. Anyway, the die that I'm working with is by Graphic 45, and it's the square tag and clock die, as you can see the name right here. And I absolutely love this die, and I've already said why, because it's a pretty wide tag. Now, there are some tags that you can buy that this coordinates with, and I didn't have those tags, but I will show you what I had. Here's the packaging for the ones that I found at Tuesday Morning, and there are these tags that say celebrate, cheer, and party. So I'm going to use these guys because I don't have the ones that are made specifically for this die. But that's why the hole in this die is so big, because it is made to fit right over the grommet that's on these tags. But there is a certain tag that is made specifically for this, and I ordered them, but I couldn't find them in cream, and I'm only going to get them in black, so I thought I really wanted the cream colored ones. So I'm just going to cut these down and show you what, you know, how I'm using them, and the packaging that I created. So I'm just going to move these aside, and I'm going to move my die to the side as well, because I already shared that with you. Now, this is the box that I created. You know, I have looked at the Mama Elephant treat bag die for quite a while, and what I like about that treat bag was that it looked like it was kind of wide. Like, I really don't know for sure, because sometimes on camera things look, you know, because of the close-up, they look bigger. But I admire that die, and I haven't, to this day, guys, I haven't bought it. And I have been wanting a treat bag die, and I don't have not one treat bag die. So I thought, okay, now I'm going to create, you know, we did the bag topper with the tag die. We did the sleeve for the flowers with the tag die. And what else did I do with it? We did the bag topper, we did the sleeve. There's one other thing that I did, but I can't share it with you just yet. But this is another thing that I created. So I'm trying to see how many things I can create with this die. So I made a treat bag, guys. Look at this. Isn't this nice? And I didn't put the tags inside because this was like an afterthought. I remembered that I had tags that might work here. I knew I had to do some trimming, so I found them. They were somewhere in my stuff, and I was able to find them. So I'm going to try and use them to show you how they work, or improvise when you don't have the real ones that go with the die. So that's what we're going to do today. But look at how beautiful this bag is. Isn't that pretty? And there's the gusset right there. So the thickness on this bag, and the beauty of this bag is you can make it as wide as you want. You can make this as wide as you want. I only gave it like an inch and a quarter in the thickness on this one, but I could have made it wider, just depending on how wide I cut my paper and where I score. But I'm going to teach you how to make this particular one with an inch and a half thickness in it, or depth in it. So that's what we're going to do today, guys. And again, I did do it with the printed paper. I added a piece of corrugated paper. And the only thing I did wrong with this paper, I cut it the exact size that I needed, not thinking that I was going to use that tool to corrugate it. And when that happens, it kind of draws it up, makes it shorter. So I should have actually left it about 1/4 of an inch longer, or just cut a strip and corrugate it and then cut it afterwards. But I didn't do that. And then I used this die right here. It says Just For You. This is a Tonic Studio die, and it comes with Happy Birthday and Just For You. And I just added some diamond dust to the hearts, and then this beautiful little stitch double layered butterfly is from the LDRS. When they were having the sale, they had the little butterfly banner with the little butterflies individually, and then it had the little butterfly with a bow kind of tiered all the way down. So this is where this little die comes from. It is LDRS. I think it's Little Darlings Creations or something like that, Creatives or something. But this is what I created, you guys, and I really want to share this, and I'm going to show you how this works. Remember, I told you this is just like a it's like how we would do tags. When I take the bow off, you can see what I'm talking about when I say it's how we put our ribbon on our tags. That's how you would open this. You don't need Velcro, you don't need anything. All I do is fold my ribbon in half, and I pass it through the loop right here, and then the tails right here, I pass them, open up that loop and just pull on them. And that's all I do for that, to make the closure on these. And then I just tie a simple bow. Like, there's nothing to it. I just tie a bow and it's good to go, and I don't have to add anything else to it. And that's it. That's how I do these. Anyway, enough with the chit chat. Like Sabrina says, chitty chitty chat chat, or what is it, Sabrina? Anyway, I'm going to show you how I created that box. Now, I know that the tag measures 1.25 inches from one side of the blade to the other side of the blade. This tag die is 1.25 inches. Okay, so I know I need, not 1.25 inches, I'm sorry, 4.25 inches. And then I know I want to make it, the depth on the side, I want it to be 1.5 inches. So I got to add the 4.25 inch plus 1.5 inches on this side and 1.5 inches on this side. So once I add all those measurements, it's 1.5 inches plus 4.25 inches plus another 1.5 inches. That gives me 7 1/4 inch. So that's what I need, 7.25 inches width on my paper. And so that's how I cut my paper, to 7.25 inch, because when I fold it all in, I don't want to have to trim anything else, only do a couple of snips and that's it, guys. I don't want to have to do too much to it. So my paper for this die has to be a 12-inch paper cut down to 7.25 inches wide. So that gives me this piece right here. This is the whole 12-inch length, but the width is 7.25 inches. Now, we're gonna score, and I just kind of got a piece of paper, you guys. Oops, my bad. It's 7.25 inches. It's 7.25 inches, guys, wide. I don't know why I have 7.5 written down, but it is 7 1/4. It's 7 1/4 inches wide. So we're going to start our score mark. Let me make sure. Yeah, I think this is correct. Yep. So anyway, it's 7.25 by 12 inches. That's what we're going to cut our paper size. Now I'm going to bring out my scoreboard, and I'm going to score my piece of paper. Hopefully nobody will come in, guys. I'm recording in my in my kitchen, because as usual my desk is a mess. Now you're gonna put your paper in the long ways going across, not down, but going across, and we're going to score it, guys. Here's the score mark on the short width right here. So the long way is going this way, the short is going this way. We're going to score it at 5. We're going to score it at 6 inches, guys. You know, I write down my stuff, and then I don't know why when I write it down, I don't write down what I'm thinking in my mind. So we're going to score it down the middle at 6 inches, and then we're going to move over 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to score it again at 6 3/4. And then our other score line, and you can write these down, so when you do them, you can just score here, here, and here. But because I wrote it down wrong, that's how I'm doing it. But if you do the same thing that I did, all you have to do when you get to your 6 inch score mark, just move over back 3/4 of an inch, and that'll give you 5 1/4. So you're going to score at 5 1/4, at 6 inches, and at 6 3/4. Then we're going to rotate it, guys, with the long side going down instead of across, and we're going to score it at 1 1/2 inches. Remember, we're going to make the sides 1 1/2 inches wide. So we're going to score it at 1 1/2 inches. Then we're going to move over and we're going to score it at 4 3/4. I hope that you can see the top of my scoreboard. But I'm going to score it at 5 3/4. That's where my next mark is going to be. So that's all the scoring we need to do right there, guys. And I will set this aside. Let me move it out of my way. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this. I'm going to go ahead and do the score mark. So the tag is going to be this way, the long way. The middle one, I'm going to go, we're doing hills and valleys, you guys. So back and forth, back and forth. And you're going to come up with this. So the gusset, you're going to see right here, the W. The center point has to be pointing towards the inside of your tags. Okay, we've done that. I'm going to open it back up. And now I'm going to go ahead and fold in the sides where we scored the 1 1/2 inches on either side. So it's 1 1/2 inches on either side, guys. If you don't want to worry too much, just rotate your paper, score it 1 1/2 inches, and rotate it again 1 1/2 inches. That's all you have to do. Now, I hope that I brought my scissors, and I don't see them. I brought my glue. Let me grab my scissors really quick, guys. Sorry, I thought I had them here. I grabbed my kitchen ones, you guys, so I don't have to run to my craft room. Anyway, we are going to cut where we made the gusset. We're not going to cut at the 6-inch mark. That we're going to skip. We're going to cut the one that is at 5 1/4 inches and the one that's at 6 3/4, I believe. And we're only going to cut up to the score mark, where the score mark intersects with this score mark. That's it. That's all we're going to do right there, guys. This little piece. That's the only thing we did. And we're going to do it on the other side as well. I have been really having a lot of fun trying to figure out, really challenging myself, what else can I do with this die? And then I'm going to cut this one right here, just up to the score mark. So this gives me, see these tabs? This is what this gives me. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and fold it the way we did the first time. Folding it like this. Actually, flip these in, guys. Flip everything in. We're going to flip everything in, and we're going to fold it the way we did when we first did the score mark. So the V is going to be to the inside, and that's all we're going to do. We're going to fold it this way. That's it. This is what you're going to get. Everything's tucked in. All the score marks, everything is tucked in. See? It will bend easily, guys. You're not going to have a problem with it. And what you're going to do after you do that, you're going to get your die again, and you're going to line it up. Let me put it upside down so you can see. You're going to line your paper up. You're going to butt it up against the blade, but not over the blade. Let me see, where's my blade? You're going to butt it up against the blade, but you're not going to go over the blade, just in the center. And you can tape this down, guys. Usually all I did was hold it down and just kind of slid my glass plate over it and move my hands as I was going. And then I ran it through my machine. But right here, guys, you see that the tag is a little bit more narrow than the actual blade. So nothing is touching the blades, not on the sides and not on the bottom. The only thing that's really going to get cut is the top piece of the tag. So you're going to take this and you're going to run it through your die cutting machine. Okay? So when you do that, and make sure, I mean, if you need to tape it down with washi, then go ahead and do that. You can remove washi tape pretty easily, but you know, make sure to tape it down. That way your die doesn't move or anything. But like I said, it's not even, like the blade is not going to cut anything. The only thing you want the blade to cut is this top portion right here. That's it, nothing else. So when you run this through your machine, I'm sorry, I hope that I'm explaining this where you can understand it. Once you run it through your machine, this is what you get, guys. See, I'm going to close it back up the way I had it so you can see that after I ran it through my machine. Let me close all this back up. I'm going to close it all back up and close it up so you can see how it would have come out. This is how it would have come out of my machine. See how it would have only cut here. It didn't cut the sides, any of the sides or the bottom. All it did was cut the top. And that's what we wanted it to do. Now, at this point, if you want to put the inserts to the tags, I'm going to show you how to do it, because I think the best way to do this is to do it before you put your box together. So that's what we're going to do. But when you open this up, guys, you open all this up. Here's your box. You know, you're going to glue this, the sides in like this. I tuck these on the inside, guys, my little flaps. You're going to glue it there, glue these two together. There's half of your box. And then you're going to lift this up and glue that together. And there's going to be your treat box right there. The only thing, guys, that when you cut it, you are going to have some points here that you need to cut off. And the way I did that, and when you cut it, you're going to see what I'm talking about, because you're going to have a point right here on all four of these tabs. All I did was kind of fold this over onto itself. I didn't crease it all the way to the bottom, but I knew I had to crease here anyway when I go to close my box. So I only creased it maybe about an inch in. And then I just took my scissors and followed the shape of the tag, the curved shape, just to cut that point that was on the tab. That's all I did, just to make sure I have this curved shape. You want to cut all those points off, because you're going to have them on all four of them. And as you can tell, see the creases on mine where I folded it over and just cut those little tabs? That's all you have to do. Okay, now from this point, this is where I recommend that you put your tag in if you're going to put these tags. And let me show you, when you put the tag in like this, see, you want that tag to be showing there. But the problem with that is, guys, see how we have this little piece that is left over, and it's a little wide as well. So what I'm going to do for this, let me center that. All I'm going to do here is I'm going to center this as best as I can. Can you hear the TV? I'm going to center this as best as I can, guys. And I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to kind of just follow this outline. And I'm going to trim that off. And that's all I'm going to do. So you see the way I did that? I kind of shaped it. But if you had the tags that are made for this die, you wouldn't have to worry about that. And I hope that I can cut correctly with these big scissors, because I thought I had mine here and I don't. So I'm just going to follow this curve. And I did it with pencil, and I can erase it if I need to, but I'm cutting just right inside that pencil mark. As you can see, I'm just following that line. And you're going to do that to 2 tags, guys. Down there. And then I'm going to go straight across. Now, I know that this tag is too wide. For if you have any pencil marks, you can go ahead and erase it. I know that this tag is too wide, but you know what, guys? I'm going to go ahead and take the other tag and just kind of put them together, because I know they have to be the same. And I'm going to trace this again, and I'm going to cut this little section off. I'm going to do the same thing on both tags and cut that little piece off. And then we're going to trim it on the sides a little bit. And like I said, I did order the right tags, because I like to have the right tools, guys. but I couldn't find them in this ivory color. I only found them in the craft, and I found them in the black. And I went ahead and ordered the black for myself because I do want to make sure that they fit. So there it is. I cut that off. Now I want to trim these tags, guys, because these are wider than 4 1/4 inch. So I'm going to trim them, and I'm also going to trim the bottom because when I line this tag up, it extends a little bit further than the bottom, if you see how it extends. So I'm going to take off 1/8 of an inch, about 1/8 of an inch, all the way around. Now my blade is kind of dull, and I'm just kind of eyeballing because you're not really going to see this, but my blade is dull, you guys, so be warned. And that's all I'm going to do to take off this little bit, and hopefully it will fit where I want it to fit. Let me move this over some and take off this little bit right here as well. And I'm going to try it, see if it's going to work. Because I'm going to put this not on the outside, but I'm going to put it on the inside. And I want to make sure, yeah, that looks pretty good. See, guys, how it fits in there really nice? I think I'm going to round this corner. See this corner that's sticking out? Right now is the time to fix anything that you feel needs to be fixed. Like right now is the time to do it. So I feel like this needs to be curved a little bit. So I curved it. And I'm going to take my glue, and I'm going to glue this down. And this has like a bumpy side on your rivet, guys, and one that's a little more flat. Well, this bumpy one is the one I want facing out. I mean, you could paper the inside of your the inside afterwards if you wanted to, but I really wanted to give it the finished edge, and because I don't have the solid ones, I'm just going to go with what I have. And even if I have to paper the inside, if I think I can't live with it, I will do that. And I'm going to add a little glue right here on this little tab right here. Thank you, Ebony. I love it. Ebony gifted this glue during the Not So Secret Santa swap, and I love it. So here it is, guys. I'm just going to line up this hole, make sure this is lined up, and I'm going to glue it down. Yep. That's all I'm going to do. And I'm going to do the same thing on this other side. So let's flip this around. And I still need to cut this one off at 1/8 of an inch on all 3 sides. The bottom and the 2 sides. So let me go ahead and do that. And I'm really just eyeballing it, you guys. But if you want to be precise and you want to measure, you can. I'm just pretty much eyeballing this. And it might be even a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch. But if you're going to put paper over it, it really doesn't matter. And let's see. Right there. I need to put a new blade in my cutter, guys. So I'm done with the cutter. I don't need it anymore. I'm going to make sure that this fits. And remember, the bumpy, the more prominent side is what's going to be facing out. Yes, that's going to be pretty. That's going to be pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and add more glue here. And I'm not going to decorate it, guys, because we all have different things. You know, you guys, some might and might not have the same glue. I mean, not glue. The same dyes that I have that I use to decorate mine. So, you know, really the decorating part, it doesn't matter because we all have different tastes and we all have different embellishments and dyes and what have you. There. Put the lid back on this. And I'm going to go ahead and line this up, guys. Make sure that this is where it needs to be. There. Perfect. And I'm going to lay it flat and burnish it with my my burnishing tool. I love this tool. I've had it for a couple years now, and I absolutely love it. There. So you're going to see, guys, that when we put this box together, it's going to be really pretty. And two, when we put these tags in it, guys, it does give it more stability. Oh, I almost missed it there by the hairs of my chinny chin chin. Okay, so I'm not going to put any paper on the inside. I mean, if I choose to do it afterwards, I will. But if you're going to put paper on the inside, if you're going to paper this, I would suggest that now is the time to do it. Take your die, cut out your paper, and then line the inside of this tag. And that way you have a finished edge. Or unless you have the black ones or the cards, I think there's a craft colored black ones and ivory. If you have the ivory, you really don't have to, you know. Especially if you cut the box out of an ivory colored paper, you wouldn't have to, but I just did mine in white. So I'm going to go ahead and add glue to the side right here. I'm going to add glue there. And I'm going to glue this side. I'm just going to lift it up, guys, and glue the side down. I'm just going to lift it up and I'm going to glue the side. Come on. Being stubborn. If you need to take a little bit off of the corner there, because sometimes, you know, they tend to... you know how we cut at an angle? It might be a good idea to do this on either side of these tabs. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. When I say to angle on either side of the tab, I mean go like this, guys. That way nothing gets in the way. Take off a little slither off of this side and another little slither off of the opposite side. It's hard working with these big scissors. I'm used to my little ones. See, I just took a little slither off, and now I'm going to add glue to it, and I'm going to close it up. I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to close it up right there. I hope you can see what I'm doing, guys. I don't know if the angle is good for you or not, but all I'm doing is burnishing, making sure. Now, you can use score tape or anything like that, you know. That will work too. So now the only thing that I need to do, guys, is add glue to the outside of these flaps right here and close it up. And there's my box. So I'm adding glue all the way around. And I'm going to close this side. And, you know, they line up. You know, those little curves that are cut from your tag, they line up. So I'm going to turn my box sideways. And let me burnish in here. Make sure everything's sticking. Oh, this is going to be a nice box. I hope that you guys try it. And I'm going to add glue to the last flap right here, guys. And close it up. I actually like this box better because it has the other tag, the grommet. All the way to the top. Make sure I'm lined up and close it up. So who needs a treat bag die? Me. I'm messing around with you guys. Would I buy one? Yes, I most definitely would. I'm not knocking dies, guys. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings because I like dies too. But sometimes, you know, we have to work with what we have. And I'm just kind of hoping, sharing with you a better way to use your tag dies. Now, as you can see on mine, you see those little open points? Those should not be there, and the reason they're there because my blade caught the little corner there. My blade on my die when I put it in there. I should have paid a little bit more attention, but nonetheless, nothing is going to fall out of there. Now, in order to make it into a treat box, all I did, remember I told you I folded these? So it's already kind of pre-trained to fold. It's pre-trained to fold right there because we folded it over to straighten up those little cuts. And I really feel like I need to clean them up some more, but I can't do it with the big scissors. But there's the box, guys, and look at how pretty it looks with the tag already there, nice and finished, versus the one that didn't have See the difference right here and right here? The big hole right here. Not that it looks bad, but I think that once you add the tags in it with the grommets already there, the eyelets already there, I think that your work looks a lot cleaner, a lot more professional. But anyway, guys, I hope that you, and if you notice, see, one's wider than the other. See the width? This one's 1.25 inches and this one's 1.5 inches. But I could have made this 2 inches wide. I could have made it anything, you guys, but I chose to do it 1.5 inches. And just kind of giving you an idea. And I would close it up the same way. I would close it up by adding the just a piece of ribbon up here with a bow. And that's all I would have to do. But you know, when you're doing something on the camera, it's a lot more difficult than when you're doing it at home and taking your time and making sure everything's trimmed up nice. Because see, I see a little roughness here that needs to be taken care of. But because I'm trying to stay in frame, versus if you're making this box at home, then you can, you know, pull your work towards you and make sure that your work is clean. Because I like clean work, guys. That's just me. But anyway, guys, this is what I created. I hope that you like it. And again, for those of you who do not own a treat bag or a treat box die like myself, now you do. If you have this tag or any tag that is, especially if it's a wide one like this, or especially if it's a wide one like this, this gives you a good sized treat bag. Versus if you have a skinnier tag, then your treat bag is going to be very narrow. But because this tag die is pretty wide, like I said, it's 4.25 inches across. That gives you plenty of room to make this treat box. Look at that, guys. How pretty. From this, and then you decorate it, it goes to this. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope everyone's having a great Sunday. I hope everyone who went to church received today. I know I did. It was amazing. Thanks for watching, you guys. Everyone have a great day and God bless. Bye. Oh, my camera's messing up, guys. My phone sometimes tends to mess up. Look at that, guys. Isn't that pretty? Look at that finished look right there. And there's the back one over there. Thanks for watching. Bye.